Good evening and welcome to the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League, Round 7, entering the second half of the championship. We arrive at Watkins Glen, New York, USA. I am Tom Cairns in the contrary position. Alongside me is Jim Cunningham, who will analyse the action with us to take us through everything that you need to know about this legendary fan favourite course. We are entering the final minutes of qualifying. Max Bartolotto is leading the way at the moment, just with under 5 minutes to go. But let's have a look at the championship standings, with there being 6 rounds to go in this season's title race. At the top, Luca Ferrari leads the way on 219 points, with Tony Jimenez in second place, tied with Brad Fulliger, but Jimenez is ahead on countback. Noah Fowle is in fourth place on 193, 26 points off the top. Then it's Scott Taylor in fifth. Mehmet Taski in sixth place on 169. It's Justin Fields, Robert Ridgway, Denny Cornu, and Kuchi Ito rounding out the top 10. Then we've got the likes of Eddie Amos, Andy Flint, Scott Haddock, Jerry Bull, Ludwig Ranson, Alexei Yukish, Antoine Holstein, Adam Telsmer, Andrew Harris, and Johan Annette. And considering we've got 2 drop scores to apply later in the campaign, that is considering all the points so far this season. Looking at the rest of the championship further down, we've got Amal Younis, then Ben Goya, Chris Patel, Dorian Arroyo, Guilherme Bussar, Albert Harari, Tom Donoghue, Stefan Donnerer, Oscar Belcardi, Gabriel Meller, Simon Fessi, and Guyan, Paul Distelli, Clark Williams, Syke Fillens, Sonny David Dahal, John McKenzie, Richard Van Veen, Philip Tassi, and Eddie Esquirol, all to have scored points inside the top 40 there. And looking at the schedule for the rest of the season, we've been to Interlagos, Mexico City, Red Bull Ring, Brands Hatch, Hockenheim, and Austin. Today is Watkins Glen, then it's off to the 300 course of Snetterton in the UK. Gilles Villeneuve, Montreal, Canada is next, followed by Suzuka, Japan. Then it's off to Long Beach, California for the penultimate round. And the 12th and final round of the season will be held at the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari at Imola, Emilia-Romagna, Italy. That's enough for me for now. Let's bring in Jim Cunningham, who's been waiting patiently to get his word on what we are about to witness this evening. Jim, good evening. How are you?
Good, Tom. Good to be back with you again, of course. Yeah, man, I'm excited. This is obviously Watkins Glen, classic American racetrack, home of Formula One way back in the day here in the United States. Great track. Well, obviously one of the most popular tracks on the iRacing server. This could be a good event. I'm sure this is, produce some really good racing today, I think.
Absolutely. The last time Watkins Glen hosting a Formula One race was in 1980. Alan Jones, I think that proved to be a rather dead rubber race because Alan Jones, who had won the title, sealed the championship the round before in Montreal. But at least he ended the season in style by taking the final ever victory of a Formula One race at Watkins Glen ahead of Carlos Reutemann and Didier Pironi. Rest in peace to the second and third place drivers. God bless their souls. And we are entering the final minutes of qualifying. Around about 90 seconds remaining. Max Bartolotto is leading the way, albeit less than a 10th clear, over Johan Annette. Then it's Tony Jimenez in third place, over Guilherme Bussar in fourth. Chris Patel in fifth place. Looking to see whereabouts the championship leader is. Luca Ferrari in the table. He's in P13. He's in the pit lane at the moment, so he won't be going back out on circuit to post an improvement. Tony Jimenez coming over the line for an attempt of an improvement, and it was not a personal best that time around, so he remains in P3. What we're looking out for here then, Jim, because from what we've noticed, actually, looking at the briefing, which I'll quickly mention, the purple zone, which is the narrow overtake zone at the start, that expires after turn 1. So after turn 1, you can then start overtaking from there. The back straight, there's no chicane, which we tend to use a lot for a lot of championships. It's just a long straight before they get to the outer loop.
Yeah, this is which is one of the cool factors that they do here in the iGPFun League is, they kind of make sure that the race starts don't become extremely chaotic, and by kind of putting in that no passing zone initially there. So although this one is very short, relatively speaking, Yeah, I think it's that's it's a good thing. I actually like that. Several leagues that we do now are starting to do that. I think it's worth mentioning here that we haven't seen that part of the track yet. I'm trying to find somebody there, but we are not using the bus stop chicane here at Watkins Glen. Obviously, arguably the most famous turn here at the track. It usually causes the most trouble. So we are making that long run all the way down the back straightaway there, or the front straight, I should say. And it's going to be going to make it for some interesting racing heading down into the boot for sure.
Well, qualifying has concluded. It looks like everyone's gone over the line, although maybe not everyone yet. Commentators, we can just see who's on the back straight. He's trying to go for an improvement, but I think he's gone over the line when the checkerflag had fallen. You see Bussard in 4th position. His latest lap is not an improvement from before, and so he remains where he is in 4th position and on the 2nd row. A lot of Americans in the field will run down on the grid, and I'll give a mention to them as we run down the 40 cars, the 40 drivers who are registered to take part in today's event here at Watkins Glen. Max Bartolotta will start the race on pole as we wait for the session 2 transition from qualifying to the race. And I think that's Momentarily out on circuit. Alexei Yukic is also on track, as is Will McIntyre-Jones, who is aiming to improve on his point score this season. Now, McIntyre-Jones, I don't think, has scored points this season yet. So there's a chance for him to open his account for the championship. Just wait to see if we can get straight from qualifying to the race now. The drivers are stopping on circuit, so that should give the indication that we can run down on the grid from the moment it is over.
Almost there, I think.
Yeah, I think there is another driver still on circuit. Alexei Yukic is on circuit, but he's gone past the checkered flag, so I don't understand why the game itself has transitioned over into the race. It's over 2 minutes since the checkered flag had been waved. I would have thought by now they have basically
there it is, coming now.
Make the transformation. Yeah, I think we're about to enter the race session. And once we do, we'll run down on the grid for today's event. So here we go. Max Bartolotta on pole with Johan Annette alongside. It's Tony Jimenez and Guillaume Bussard in 3rd and 4th. It's Chris Patel and Yunus Amal on the 3rd row. Brad Filliger and Ludwig Ranson on row 4, followed by Marcelo Caruso in 9th place ahead of Noah Fowl. Antoine Holstein in 11th place ahead of Brandon Green. And it's the championship leader Luca Ferrani in 13th ahead of the Turkish driver Mehmet Taski. Joe Bull and Robert Ridgway are in 15th and 16th, followed by Kuchi Ito and Alexei Yukic on row 9. Scott Taylor and Justin Fields running out the top 20. Albert Harari and Nguyen on row 11, followed by George Taylor and Andrew Harris. Patrick Williams and Will McIntyre-Jones on row number 13. Simon Vesey and Marius Anderson on row 14. Then it's Denny Cornu and Philip Tassi in 29th and 30th. Clark Williams and Eddie Amos are next in 31st and 32nd places. And then it's Matthew Gracie and Kai Surumi in 33rd and 34th. Linus Malm and Noel Ritchie Robinson on the 18th row, with Dorian Arroyo and Adam Telsmer on row 19. And at the back, we've got the 2 Americans of Scott Haddock, who usually goes well with his racecraft, so he could be one to look out for. And we've got Vincenzo Tormina, who we didn't even set a time in qualifying, so I don't know if he'll actually take part in the race. Jim, what are you looking out for here?
Well, the first thing that I've noticed is the fact that Haddock is all the way at the back. He's pretty fast. That's going to be interesting to see him come up through the field for sure. I think you got your standard fast guys up towards the front, and you got Varani, who's going to, take his time working his way up through the field and get him a good solid finish as points leader. That's what he's been doing all season. I'm excited to see how this turns out here.
2 minutes are up now, so we should be good to go for the lights here. Max Bartolotto on the front row alongside Johan Annette. The lights are coming on now, and when they extinguish, we'll be racing here at Watkins Glen. 3, 4, and 5. Lights are on. Lights off very, very quickly, and Max Bartolotto leads the way ahead of Johan Annette. Remember, no active overtakes at the first corner. Once to go past there, then overtaking can take place, but it's Bartolotto who leads the way ahead of Johan Annette. As the field make their way through, we've got 2 cars, 3 cars already coming together before they even get to turn number 1. Not sure who they were. It might have been Clark Williams and Linus Malm that have got involved in that, as did Adam Talisman. So already in the wars they are, but drivers can now start overtaking on this back straight. There we see Johan has already got in front of Bartolotto before they got there, but Bartolotto is fighting back as they enter the outer loop for the first time. But at the moment, it's Johan who has the high ground into the corner. So he leads the way, and it's Bartolotto in second place. It's Busar in third. Jimenez down 8 positions to fourth place. It's Krish Patel, Yunus Amal, Brad Villiger, Marcello Caruso, Ludovic Vanson, and Noah Fowl inside the top 10.
Yeah, we got off to a pretty good start there. Something tangled them up in the back part of the field there. I'm not sure, but we'll get a look at that when we can. Other than that, yeah, everything started off pretty nice.
Drivers behaving themselves apart from what we saw at turn 1. We'll get onto that in a moment once everything starts to calm down on the racetrack. And there we see the front end of the field. I think Andrew Harris was also one of those that got involved in the first corner mayhem. But Williams hasn't gone any further. He might come back out in the near future. Vincenzo Tomina did not get going at all, so that's him effectively gone from this. But there we see the field coming through. Johan in the lead ahead of Bartolotto, but it's by no means a guarantee he's going to come away with the victory. And you can just see someone having a big whack against the barrier. Didn't quite pick up on who that was that clouded with the wall. It might have been George Taylor or Denny Cornu that had hit the barrier. We'll get onto that once we have a chance to do so. And there we see Mehmet Taski and Luca Ferrani there in that purple and yellow livery car just ahead of Taski. It's going to be quite an almighty task here for Luca Ferrani to keep hold of the championship lead once this race has reached its conclusion. And there we see Taski going to the right there of what looks like, is that Brandon Green is just going through there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's Green being overtaken by Taski there as Taski gets past, and there's someone going over the curb running wide before they get to the boot.
This is Patel here with Fulliger, and Amal's right behind them there. This is, well, of course, there's about 6 cars here within about a second of each other at this mess.
Patel, race winner last time out in Austin. He's running at the moment in 5th position where he was on the grid. Now you can see Luca Ferrani, who thought about an overtake there, but it's probably too risky for him to do it at that left-hander. Entering the final sector of the course, that's turn 9 as it's described on the map. We're coming through the last corners of turns 10 and 11, and Johan still leading the way, although he's not pulling away as such. There's no pit stops involved. In case you are new to this particular series, it is essentially a straight sprint to the end here.
All right, let's see if we can go back and see what happened there at the very beginning of the race. Second here as they diving into, oh my goodness. Okay.
I didn't quite pick up on who that was.
Well, Linus Melm was involved. Melm's the one that got run over. I'm trying to see who it was that hit him.
Well, to be honest, whoever ran into him, that was it was Taumina.
Yeah, it was Taumina.
It was Taumina who started at the back. I don't know if he's read the briefing, to be honest with you, Taumina, because if he did, he wouldn't be going into turn 1 at the rate that he was doing there. That was completely precipitated by him.
Oh my gosh.
And just not reading into the situation of the field ahead there.
One more time here from...
So this is him starting at the back.
What was he doing?
Yeah. I don't know. That is really, really...
Oh my gosh.
That can't be condoned, that. I'm sorry, but that's just...
Holy cow, he just ruined about 3 or 4 guys' races there for absolutely no... Whoa, my gosh.
And that's an incident as well. That was, I think that was Alexei Yukish that came together with whoever it was at turn 8 at the heel.
George
And,
Taylor, maybe? Let's
I
see.
think if it was George Taylor, yeah. We're going to see now.
Oh, no, is this it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's...
Oh, they're bumping. Oh, there goes his wing, and he's
yeah,
gone.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
someone else crashed into the barrier in avoidance there, but that's a bad error there from George Taylor. I think Robert Ridgway might be out of it as well. We've lost a lot of cars. In fact, Luca Ferrani's gone no further. I think both Taschi and Ferrani might have come together, Jim. Considering the nature of this course, I wouldn't be at all surprised if we end up with around about half of the field finishing this one.
No, I agree. Let me get settled here, and I'll see if I can find what happened there. Let's go back. It's the battle for third right here.
And there we see Bussard in third place ahead of Tommy Jimenez, who finished runner-up last season. Now he's going for the #1 prize.
Okay, so let's see. All I show is...
I think those two have come together, Jim.
I can't find an incident, though. All I can find is where they're in the pits. I don't show where they had an incident, though. I don't know. I'll keep looking for it, but go back to live here. Yeah, I don't show an incident.
That's really bizarre.
Yeah,
I don't know
very.
if that's the case. But we've lost a number of drivers in this race already. We've lost Patrick Williams. Linus Malm and Vincenzo Taumino have both got going again, but I'd imagine that Taumino is going to get spoken to after this because that was really poor from his part.
I don't even know what that was. That was clearly no clue about don't pass going into turn one. I mean, he must have thought he was really going. He was passing them all right up the middle there. I don't even know.
We've also lost Matthew Gracie. We've lost, in fact, we've lost 4 American drivers in the first part of that race. I mean, some may be circulating around, albeit they're at least a lap behind the leaders. Either way, Euronet is leading the way, although he's not pulling away from Max Bartolotti. It's only half a second between those two. We've got a battle for third place between the Luxembourgish driver Guillaume Bussard and the Spaniard Tony Jimenez. There is George Taylor just getting out of the way there, and someone else has gone into the barrier at turn 6. Didn't see who that was, but I'm sure someone went flying into the wall there.
Right there. It's that's not Fullinger, or no? Is it? No.
No, that's George Taylor. But I'm talking about a car that's. It was in the background actually. That's turn 7 they've gone through. This is turn 8 of the heel that they're entering now. But I'm sure someone went into the barrier quite hard.
Amal?
It might have been Amal. Let's have a look. No, this is no. It's further back, Jim. It's over at turn 6 where I saw someone hitting the Armco quite hard.
Idea. I cannot. This thing is not showing any of these incidents at all. Oh, we got a change here for position. Somebody's slow.
That'll be a back marker, Jim. Yeah, it'll be a back marker at turn 1, just getting out of the way of the faster pack. And there we see Busso is at the head of this long queue, and Jimenez, well, you can just see almost a bang of wheels there, front tyre to rear tyre. That could have ended disastrously considering the number of cars directly behind them. Jimenez and Busso just exchanging places all the way down the straight. Around the outside goes Tony Jimenez. He won't have the high ground for the outer loop. But he's got to be wary that Krish Patel isn't too far behind either. He's aiming for an attempt to get by, but not quite this time around.
I have to say, there's a part of me that really misses the bus stop chicane. I don't know. I really love that chicane. I like the action that it creates.
And there we see the field as they make use of all the track and then some. Jerry Bull's got a black and orange flag to his name. I wonder what he's been up to over the course of this lap. Now we look at the pack that are fighting over that final podium position. A long gap out in front, actually, involving Johan Annette and Max Bartolotti.
This whole little group of cars right here is just all over each other.
Down the pit straight they come to begin lap number 7 out of 28. And so far, so good for Johan Annette. But it's by no means a guarantee he'll come away with a victory here. He's quite some way behind in the championship as well, is Annette. So if he's going to be fighting for the title, he needs to come away. There are the drivers' 2 worst scores to be applied at the end of the season. So it will be 10 out of the 12 best scores for each driver that will determine who becomes champion this season. And at the moment, with Luca Ferrari down the order, this is a golden opportunity for Tony Jimenez to make the most of and come away. That's 3 wide. That's Patel to the outside of both Jimenez and Busar, and no way through, unfortunately, there on Busar for Patel. He did remarkably, brilliantly well to get through on Jimenez that occasion, and Jimenez running wide at turn 6. That's going to allow Yunus Amanal and almost Brad Fulliger through, and Jimenez is beginning to lose momentum a little bit because he's offline. He's got mud all over his tyres, and he's having to fend off Fulliger on this occasion, but I think he's going to have to accept defeat this time around, unless he's got other ideas. But through went Patel on that occasion, Jim, and there's no sign of abating from him.
No, that was quite an. I mean, that was a really close call with the wall back there as well. That was close, really close. Uh-oh. Here, this is something that just happened with Yukish.
This is over at turn 7 at the toe. He's gone way wide there. Yeah, he's going to hit the barrier. Ooh. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and that crushed that car. He had to jump to the pits on that one.
One bites the dust in this one. And down the back straight they come. Krish Patel and Guillaume Busar. Patel will want to get back into the slipstream again because he's lost that toe. Now he's can he basically do what he did to Jimenez on the previous, so go to the outside of Busar? That's what he's aiming to do. He's not going to be able to brake later than Busar that time around. There we see a 4-way dice for 5th place. Almost ending in tears there, actually, considering how much they were back in 4th position. But at least we're seeing a lot of battles here, Jim, unlike in previous races.
Yeah, no, well, Watkins Glen, you know, it literally, and we haven't even really looked back past like the top 10 or 12. You know, all these battles are occurring up in the top 10 or 12 positions. So we've still got some other stuff going on further back. We just haven't had a chance to go back there because this has been such a tight battle up here for all these spots.
Luca Ferrari, the championship leader coming into this one, is running in 25th position. And he's got a lot of work to do if he's to remain in the championship lead.
He's all back there by himself.
Yes, I think Simon Fessi has been involved in some form of incident as well, Jim. He's gone down the order. We'll get more on that in a moment. Denny Cornu has dropped down the order as well, and Simon Fessi is continuing to tumble. Yeah, it looks like 2 of the Unity racing cars have really, really hit the walls here on this on the 8th lap here in Watkins Glen. But now we see the battle for the top 3. Patel goes to the outside earlier than he did last time. Is this enough for him to make his way through? He needs to have his nose in front by the time they get to the braking zone, and he's not quite there, unfortunately. He has to settle for 4th place for now.
Don't see an incident for Fessi. I just see him getting past.
Oh, there we see, look, Patel getting on the grass. That was enough for Brad Fulliger to take advantage. Brad Fulliger, as it stands with the position he is in, he will be leading the championship race with Luca Ferrari further down the order. Still a long way to go yet in this one. I think with all the dramas happening involving other drivers, Luca Ferrari is going to have to just hope for more drop out of this. He's running in 23rd now, and the next guy is going to be aiming to pass. He's 16 seconds up the road.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, he's clearly in a bad situation as far as the championship lead goes, but. You know, the way these cars are all still running together, you know, incidents can happen. We've got a long way to go in this thing.
Down the pit straight towards turn 1. And there are the field coming through. That's Tony Jimenez running in a solid 8th position, or 7th rather. He's aiming to get back into that top 3 position. But now, you just see Fulliger making the most of the slipstream of Bussard on this back straight. There's a little bit of tussling for position further behind. We'll come to that in a moment. That is fully good to the outside. He's not going to be close enough, and Suor Bertilla is aiming to get back into 4th place sooner rather than later. Just see, I think the problem is the flow of the circuit, because there's not a lot of slow speed corners. It actually does make the overtaking rather more difficult.
In these cars, you know what's funny is you watch it. We see so much sports car racing here with GT3s and that type of stuff that it really is a completely different race course when it comes to Formula style open wheel cars. Compared to the sports car type vehicles. It's almost like 2 completely different tracks the way it races.
The drivers have got a good handle on these machines anyway. I'm sure they'll find a way through in terms of the overtakes, which have been demonstrated by some of these drivers. And then we look at Noah Farrell running in 10th place. He's sandwiched in between Holstein and Caruso. Now the Art and Delia Racing team. That's the reason why they've got similar liveries. And there we see Yunus Amal, who is further up the road in 5th place.
Just got by Patel there.
Yeah, he has, yeah. So he's got through into 5th place past Patel, has Amal, and there we see Jimenez aiming to get by. But the problem is he's boxed in between Amal and Patel, and it's going to open the door for Ranson to head through. How many is he going to take here by the time he gets to the outer loop?
Oh, no, they got together.
That's Jimenez and Patel.
Off. Yeah, he saved it. But
surely got damage from that.
Yeah, you would think so. He looks like he's got a meatball flag.
He's got the black and orange flag as Patel, so he'll be off into the pit lane at the end of this, no doubt about it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but that was never going to work there.
Well, Patel's black and orange flag has gone, but I think that's because he's gone back to pit lane. Yeah, he's gone back to pit lane as Patel, so that's him out of the running for a strong result.
Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate for him. Yeah, that was. Also, let's go back and look real quick here. Something happened with Patrick Williams here. I believe this is George Taylor again. Oh!
That is very bizarre.
What in the world? Unless their tires got together. See if we see anything different. Maybe their tires came together. Yeah, I mean, obviously that's. Yeah, that was strange.
Very, 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 very strange. Over which in the barrier, and we go back to live images with Tony Jimenez running in P7 up ahead of him. Akmal, who's been passed by Ludovic Ranson. Ranson up into 5th place by the time he gets to the outer loop. No problems there for the Frenchman.
No, that was a nice move right there.
We continue on lap number 12. Euronet still leads the way, but Bartolotta is refusing to leave him alone. He's just under half a second, or just over half a second now off him. And then we look at Brandon Green fighting with Noah Fow. Green's past Fow and up into 9th place, having a strong run in this one. Here's the man to our understanding. He's from Armenia. And there we see Farrell coming back through on the inside at the heel.
I had a good friend that was Armenian. Let's go up here and give the leader and Max here a shout out. I'm not familiar with Max, like we were talking about pre-race. I'm not sure that I've seen him race yet, but he's given Johan and Ed all he wants right here. He's staying with him very, very well.
Fast up of the race from Ludovic Ranson in 5th position, chasing after Brad Fulliger and Guillaume Bussard. Now Bussard, who's in P3, is nearly 6 seconds off the lead, which it looks like he's going to be consigning to a podium finish. Amal's got past Ranson for position on the back straight. He sneaks on by, And now he'll be aiming to put pressure on Bussard and Filliger for that final pony position. I'll give some shout outs actually to those who've been making their way through the field nicely. Scott Haddock, who's now just got by Nguyen for 17th position. Remember, he started the race 39th, and he's got up into P17, and he's got his compatriot Philip Tassi next up the road.
Yeah, Haddock's up 22 spots already. The run he's having. I'm not sure. I guess he must have missed qualifying or had an incident or something that killed his qualifying lap or something. But man, what a run he's having. He would have started up towards the front. Look how good he would have been having.
He does enjoy these kind of races when he's coming through the field. Is Scott Haddock, which I suppose is what makes a brilliant driver what they are. But I do agree. I think there needs to be times where he needs to try and fight it out at the front of the field. Amal Postley fast up of the race, even though Ranson got by him briefly. And there we have a look. Oh no, sorry, it was the other way around. Amal got by Ranson on the lap. I was thinking of the other way around. But Haddock is in 17th place. We go back to the battle for what is for 6th place. This is Ludwig Ranson and Tommy Jimenez, who is aiming to get in front of Brad Filliger at some point. Because if he does that, he'll be taking over the championship lead, with Luca Ferrani down the order in 22nd place now. He's around about 5 seconds off Dorian Arroyo for position. Scott Haddock has made up a...
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he's closing the gap. Yeah, I was going to say, Scott Haddock's got by Philip Tassi now for 16th place.
Yeah, he's really working his way up. Yeah, last time we checked in on Varani, he was 16 seconds back on Arroyo, and he's got that down to about 7.5 seconds. So he's really chewing into that, and but that's still a tall order to get all that back.
One of the lap times that Luca Ferrani's doing, he just posted his personal best up on the race at 1:34.5. Dorian Arroyo posted. So Dorian Arroyo posted a 1:38.7, and the car ahead of him, Noel Richie Robinson, he posted a time of 1:37.2. So it's evidently clear that Ferrani's gained on. He is one of the fastest drivers in the field. It's just a shame he got caught up in that melee with Mehmet Taski, who is the next car behind him in 23rd place. The gap between the pair of them is nearly 8 seconds.
I'm sorry, I jumped back up here to the front real quick.
Bussard and Filliger.
Yeah.
Bussard keeping his nose on the inside. That will give him the high ground to keep hold of that final podium spot, and so he does on the incline. And there we see the Luxembourgish driver staying ahead, and Filliger's going to have to wait for another opportunity here as they continue to scrap it out. We've got another driver going back to pit lane now. That is, I think that's Krish Patel this time. Yeah, he's gone back in, so it's a shame there for Krish Patel. He's probably had another moment somewhere, but will not further compound his misery. We've seen that Denny Corner and Matthew Grace are swapping positions, even though the pair of them are a lap down. They are fighting over 24th position, and that's a coming goal. That is Guillaume Bussard in the barrier on the exit of turn 8, and that's race over for him.
Wow. Yeah, he just completely lost it there. It just stepped out on him. Did he get on the curb and got away from him? Yep.
He did.
Out on that curbing.
Yeah.
That's the new curbs, by the way. You know, just in the recent update, just a few weeks ago, they updated the curbs here, and they're a lot rougher than they were. And it looks like they caught him out there for sure.
What a shame for Bussard, running in 3rd place for a long time, but that is little consolation now. He's out of it. I didn't see that car coming out of the pit lane. Didn't see who it was, but that's forced the drivers to take a slightly different line through turns 2 and 3 than they would have desired. And Emma now up into 4th position, attempting to get by Brad Filliger before they get to the outer loop. Round the outside goes Yunus Amal through the banking. He's not quite alongside enough to be warranted in place, but he may have the inside for the entry to the boot. And that is a neat overtake there from Yunus Amal. Great job to move up into the top 3.
I will say this, that the passing is better down that straightaway without the bus stop there, you know? I mean, it just it really opens up the passing as you start to go into the boot, because you get that long run down the straightaway and you get that big draft.
Joannet continues to lead the way, and it's Max Bartolotta in P2. And we look at Philip Tassi, who's fighting with Nguyen, who's been passed by Scott Haddock. Haddock now up into 15th place. He's around about a second off Eddie Amos in 14th. Haddock having a brilliant time of it here at his home event, along with a home event he had previously in Austin last week. And Yunus Amar's out, Jim.
What?
He's hit the barrier somewhere.
Oh my goodness. He just jumped off of him too.
He's whacked the barrier, I think.
Oh no. Oh, right
Yeah.
at oh my God. Oh my word. That is a brutal shot right there.
That's a Code Brown moment.
Oh man. See, let's watch this from the gyro cam above his head, because he got over there on that curbing again. It got him, and man,
Oh dear.
that. Thank God this is sim racing, because that's the kind of hit that takes someone's life right there. That is as nasty a shot as you could get in racing right there.
Thankfully, I'm sure he'll be all right after that. But like you say, that if that was in real life single-seater racing, I think we had a similar incident like that at the Indy 500 event where someone just sort of almost gone straight down. Oh, that's someone in the wall on the exit of turn 7. Sorry, I cut away from what I was going to say, Jim. But Holstein's ended up in the wall now as well. I wonder if it's the curb, and maybe it's the fact that the tyres are falling away around here.
Maybe. I don't think that. I think it's just these curbs are giving people fits. Let's see before we say anything, though.
He got a twitch of oversteer.
Did he got a little bump, I think, maybe. Who was that behind him? Do we know?
I didn't pick up on who it was. Might have been, was it Marcello Caruso that hit him?
Figure it out here. I think he got him. It's hard to tell. Was it Caruso?
I can't quite tell.
No, it was not Caruso for sure.
That's not Caruso. No, it's not Caruso. My apologies for that. It's the one in front of him. It might have been Brandon Green. Brandon Green. Yeah, I think it was Green that was the one that.
Yes. Okay. Now
let's
do
into the barrier.
This and on board with Brandon Green here.
I think that was avoidable.
Yeah.
I really think that's avoidable.
I have to agree with you. I think he had time to react to it. It certainly didn't seem like he did, but from that angle, it really did look like he had a chance to avoid it. By the way, this is this battle right here is just, they're all over each other for 3rd, 4th, and 5th here.
Just hope we get a decent number of drivers to the end now. We've only got 20 drivers on the lead lap through all the incidents we have had.
Wow.
From the 40 that entered here today, and we've still got around about 10 laps to go. There is Fulliger holding on ahead of Ranson and Jimenez. As it stands, Brad Fulliger will be leading the championship. Luca Ferroni's now up into 18th position. He's got by Dorian Arroyo. Antoine Holstein's back in the race after that crash into the barrier, and he's now in 21st.
Still on the lead lap? No. I think he's just first car a lap down, I believe.
It's not showing on our timing pages in blue. If it was in blue, then it would definitely be a lap down. But it's saying that he's highlighted in white. But I think you might be right on that one, Jim. I think it's just not quite picked up on the fact that he is
he just
a lap down on the leader. Yeah, but there is a thing on the iRacing cycle where if it blinks too many times, then the driver will be booted out of the session. But Ludwig Ranson in 3rd place has just got by Brad Fulliger. Ranson, who's having a cracking race so far here. He started 8th, is now up into 3rd position.
These three are, they are flipping around positions, back and forth. This has been...
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you, Jim. Another incident. Marcello Caruso and Brandon Green have come together this time. Back in pit lane they go.
Oh, yeah.
That another bizarre incident between. Oh my goodness me!
Oh, that was so close right there. Oh,
spearing back
my
onto the racing line.
We've got incidents going on all over the place. Look at this.
This is in Guyane.
Yeah, in Tosi. All these weird incidents are happening right there in this turn too. So strange.
It's very, very strange. But all of this is helping Luca Ferrari. He's now been to P13. He's passed Richie Robinson.
Yeah.
And after being in the pits earlier, Luca Ferrari may still end up in the championship lead by the end of it. He was on 219 points, 14 clear of Tony Jimenez and Brad Filliger coming into this. And with the way things are going now, he'll remain in the championship lead, remarkably.
Oh, we got a battle for the lead up here. Look at Max's.
He's on the outside, is Bartolotta, but I think Johanet was always going to have the inside for that particular corner. I just wonder if all the drama we've had at that corner there, if these two dice it out for the lead in the final few laps, goodness knows what we could be in for here. Scott Haddock now up into the top 10 after starting 39th. He's made up 29 positions from his starting spot. The next car ahead of him is Kuchi Ito, who's about another 5.5 seconds up the road.
Man, what a run Haddock is having, though. I mean, that's just fantastic for him. This battle for the lead here has turned into a, they were just kind of half a second apart and staying there, but now all of a sudden Max is turning the heat up here with, I guess we got about 9 laps to go here.
Annette and Bartolotta in first and second places. As you can see, they have lapped the entire field up to 17th. Antoine Holstein is the last driver on the lead lap. I wonder how far away the leaders are going to be from lapping him. I think he's.
Well, let's see. All right, so we see the green.
He's just up the road, actually. I can
Oh,
see the green, yeah. So
yeah.
He's just up the road. You just saw it at the top of your picture. Yeah, they're coming up to lap him.
And then there he is right there. So he's right in front of him. Won't be long.
He's running high enough in this one.
Look at Max here. Look at him. I think he might
He's
have
not
pulled
going to
out
have
too
the
early.
momentum.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's pulled out too early as well. He's not going to have the momentum out of it unless he does what I think it was Yunus Amal that pulled off that move earlier on in the race round the outside at this corner, which he didn't get by then. This is Fulliger, Ranson, and who was that in there? Jimenez got by the pair of them, and you can just see Ranson nearly going into the barrier. That could have ended in disastrous circumstances for him, but Jimenez threw past Fulliger, past Ranson at the same time, and up into third position. A remarkable effort by the Spaniard.
These three have been doing this for like 15 laps or something. What a race these three are having, man. When this is all said and done, they're going to get out talking about what a great time they had, because this has been unbelievable. Swapping positions left and right. Oh,
that's bang of wheels between Ranson and Fulliger. That could have been dangerous there, but Ranson's got by Fulliger. I'm not sure how he'd have felt with that, but Ranson's got through into fourth place, but that's by no means the end of the war between these two as far as this race is concerned. Kuchi Ito running in ninth place, still ahead of Scott Haddock, having another good race actually, Ito, considering the season's having so far. Very consistent indeed, the best I've seen from him in the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League. Further up ahead from Ito is Will McIntyre-Jones, who we've hardly spoken about, but he's had a clean race in 8th position.
Yeah, good run. I mean, this is a race that you just keep your nose clean here, though, and you're going to probably end up with a decent finish,
A new fast up of the race from Tony Jimenez on that last lap. Go back to the lead, and Bartolotta dicing it out. Bartolotta not able to get by. He's not alongside enough to have the high ground for the next corner of the heel. Fulliger gets by Ranson further back. We want to stay on the battle for the lead between Johan Annette and Max Bartolotta.
It
looks like Annette is able to survive.
I think that Bartoletta is setting him up for something in the last couple of laps. He's pulling out really early, and he's swinging way out there wide every single lap. And he has to realize that that's not going to work by this point. He's not going to carry enough momentum to pass him down that straightaway. My prediction is he's going to do something different and throw him a curveball in the last couple of laps to get by him. I think he's working on a long term, setting him up for something down the road. I really do. Because he's got to realize that's never going to work.
Dorian Arroyo has been passed by Mehmet Saski, who moves up into 15th position, continuing his fight back through the field. Luca Ferrani, whose next driver ahead is Adam Talsma. He is 2 seconds behind, but I think that is as high as Luca Ferrani is going to end up, bar any drivers falling off the road. But it's been a super drive from Mehmet Saski again, as it is for Luca Ferrani, considering the race he says he's actually now in the same position as where he had started this race.
That's amazing. Oh. Getting back here in
Back
the
up
action
for
part of the
P3.
track again. Here they go. Whopping
Yeah, this
spots.
is Ranson getting by Felica for 4th position, and Noah Fau has managed to get himself involved in this great fight.
And Jimenez got by him, and he's pulling away from him now. He was stuck there with all three of those for the long. All three of them were together. Jimenez is now over a second ahead of him.
Through the heel, you could just see Jimenez scarpering up the road. He's got.
That was a good
Run
move
out of
right
time
there,
to catch.
man.
It was a good move, yeah, from Ranson, or Foul, sorry, on Fulliger for 5th place. That is Foul through at last. Fulliger falls down to 6th place. His chances of taking the lead in the championship of this are falling away, considering that Jimenez is ahead, and Ferrani's managed to come back through the field very, very nicely. We'll go to Luca Ferrani now, because he is closing in on Adam Talsma for position. He's now 1 second off him coming out of the heel. You just saw in the foreground Adam Talsma, the Canadian, gunning for a strong result after starting 38th on the grid. He's now in 12th position.
Yeah, he's definitely still turning some really nice fast laps. He was over a second faster than Talsma on that last lap there. Not going to take much at that rate to catch him and get by him.
Out of turn 9 they come. There we see the two leaders of Annette and Bartolotta tussling for the honours here at Watkins Glen. Now, Johan Annette, who hasn't won since he won the opening couple of rounds at Interlagos and Mexico City. He dominated both of those events. Now he's up against a big fight if he wants to become champion this season. He came into this one looking at where he is in the championship reckoning. I'm struggling to find whereabouts he is in the standings actually. Johan Annette. He's running in 20th. He's 20th. Yeah, he's 20th in the standings with 86 points. He's 133 off the lead, so I think his chances of becoming champion are very, very slim. But he'll try and win every single race possible. There are the drop scores to consider, so there's that to bear in mind. There we see Ferrani, who's got by Talsman now for P12.
Go back, that pass that he made right there. Oh, just pulled him on the straightaway. Yeah, that is the beauty of this long straightaway here without the bus stop. It makes for that kind of passing, which is a bit different.
Next driver up the road for Luca Ferrani is Eddie Amos in P11. Another one of those who's made a ton of places, 21 to be exact, from where he has started. And Talsma, well, he'll be hoped that Mehmet Tassi doesn't get close enough to him before this race is over. He's got another 4 laps to endure. But the leaders are now just a 10th apart from each other. There is Eddie Amos, who's just lapped one of the back markers. Bartolotta's not close enough to get by Annette just at this moment in time. Simon Jimenez is doing his best to go after them, but he hasn't gone faster than the pair of them on that last lap alone. He's over 7 seconds behind, and it's looking like a 3rd place finish coming in the way for the Spanish driver. Looking at Antoine Holstein briefly, there we see Dorian Arroyo, who is under attack. I mean, I say he's under attack. The next driver behind him is Marcello Caruso, who's like another 18 seconds back, so I don't think Holstein will be too despondent there, but he's got a job to do by going past Dorian Arroyo for position. Unless I'm mistaken with that, actually. I think that's Noel Ritchie Robinson,
yeah,
who's been That's Dorian Arroyo going past him, actually.
Yes, that's Arroyo passing Robinson.
Yeah. And at least that's the Mexican going up another place. Looking to see how he's been doing this season, Dorian Arroyo. Because I don't usually see him running that high up in the field. I'm just looking for his name because I've got a long list of names on the Drivers' Championship standings. It will come to me in a moment. But going back to the battle for 5th position, we're looking at Noah Fow and Brad Fulliger fighting it out. And they're leaving each other enough space. Fulliger goes ahead of Fow that time around, but Fow is not giving it up. He'll have the inside for turn 6. And Fow makes his way past. A brilliant move there from the Frenchman.
Yeah, Fow's turning it a pretty decent race here. Kind of laid back, cool early in the race, let all these incidents happen, and put it together now, starting to move forward. Of course, Fulliger and he have been just, this whole little section through here has been from Jimenez to Rancon to Fow. They've been Fulliger. This has been a battle all race. Good battle.
No, Dorian Arroyo's previous best result. Go on, Jim.
No, I'm just trying to see what happened up here with our leaders.
Big hit the barrier. Who was that just hit the barrier? I think that might have been Brad Fulliger, absolutely given the barrier such a whack.
God. What in the world just happened? I think he tried to pull a move on.
Well, that's Noah Fow. He was behind Fow by the time they got to the last corner.
Yeah, I want to see what happened here, though. I think. Follow him here. Very interesting. That was a huge shot, though.
I don't think we'll see anything over the next few corners before his shunt at the last corner. He was just sitting behind Fow all the way through this, Jim.
That's interesting. I don't know.
And that was what caused this race to come to a close. That is Scott Taylor.
It never showed up as an incident whatsoever. It never even showed that it happened on the thing. This is literally all I've got right here. Shows that he entered the pit lane after this. That's all I've got. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do something I hate doing, which is jump back 5 seconds. And he just overcooked it in there and just lost it. Wow. Having such a good run, too. Big accident.
So he's come back into the race now, as Brad Fulliger is running in 16th. We're now on the final lap. Johan Nat has pulled out the biggest margin on Max Bartolotta all race. Nearly 2 seconds. And the third win of the season seems to be coming in the way of him. Tobin Jimenez in 3rd place. It's Ludwig Vanson and Noah Fow. And Scott Taylor has most come through the field nice up into 6th place. Scott Haddock is in 9th, finishing the highest of the home heroes here this evening. Luca Ferrari, I should say, is on course to keep hold of the championship lead, but we'll see Noah Fow go past Ludwig Vanson 4th position. One French driver passing another. And Fow's brilliant race continues to go from straight to Schoenberg, runs a little too deep, and Ranson comes back on the outside. I think Fow will go through this time around at the heel. But we'll go to Johan Annette, who is close to victory. And I think Fow's going to hold on ahead of Ranson this time around. There is Annette. Very close to the end. On what's been a brilliant battle between him and Bartolotta. Perhaps the closest we've seen for a fight in the lead. Farrell and Ranson continue to dice it out, but we'll come to that in a moment. And Johanet comes through the penultimate turn for the last time. One more corner to get through for the 999 of Johanet, who comes through to win at Watkins Glen in the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League. It's a brilliant victory by less than 2 seconds over the Italian Max Bartolotta. Tony Jimenez completes the podium in 3rd place, and he goes into 2nd place in the Drivers' Championship. But it's Luca Ferrari by finishing in 11th place. He'll keep hold of the championship lead. He's too far back from Eddie Amos to make up any more positions, but it's been a decent recovery Noah Farrell fourth. It's Ludwig Ransson, Scott Taylor, Will McIntyre-Jones, Kichi Ito, Scott Haddock, and Eddie Amos running out the top 10 with Luca Ferrari in P11.
There was a lot of really good battles in that race. Long battles that lasted numerous laps. Johan Annette went through the bus stop.
And taking a different configuration.
He took the NASCAR turn there.
There we see Adam Salzman heading over the line in 12th place. A decent effort from him. Where we look to Doyen Arroyo, who will pick up his best result of the season so far in 14th place out of Noel Richie Robinson. And Brad Fulliger will be the last driver to take the checker flag on the lead lap.
I'll tell you what, there was some good stuff there, man. That was some really good battles in that race. That was quite enjoyable.
A brilliant victory for Johan Annette. His third win of the season. And a brilliant debut from Max Bartolotta, who has a lot to learn in this championship, but of course the second place will most certainly do, and that will give his points table a good opening. Johan wins the race ahead of Max Bartolotta, and it's Tony Jimenez and Noah Farrell in third and fourth. Ludwig Ransson and Scott Taylor are fifth and sixth. Will McIntyre-Jones and Kichi Ito 7th and 8th, and it's Scott Haddock and Eddie Amos running out the top 10. Luca Ferrari 11th, it's Adam Telsmer in 12th. Mehmet Taski 13th. Dorian Arroyo, a best finish so far this season, of 14th. Noel Richie Robinson in 15th, another good drive from him. Brad Fulliger down to 16th place. Antoine Holstein, the first of the lap cars, in 17th place. It's Marcello Caruso and Guyan and Denny Cornu finished a lap down. Matthew Gracie also finished that race. Linus Malm made it to the end despite the crash at the beginning. I'm sure there'll be some words afterwards. Vincenzo Tomina, I think, made it to the end in 23rd place. Whether he'll keep all of that remains to be seen. Marius Anderson also made it to the checker flag. Brendan Green crashed out, though, as did Philip Tassi. Yunus ML didn't go any further. Neither did Guillaume Boussard. Chris Patel also retired. Albert Harari, Patrick Williams, George Taylor, Jerry Bull, Simon Fessy, Alexei Yukish, Robert Ridgway, Andrew Harris, Kai Surumi, Justin Fields, and Clark Williams, all out of the race. Well, it's been a brilliant race, Jim. Again, lots of battles throughout the field. You were very sceptical at the beginning about the bus stop chicane not being used, but yeah. I think for the best of the racing we've had with these particular machines, it's worked out nicely, hasn't it?
I agree. Yeah, I think so. I think with these cars, that was a good decision. It definitely made for a lot of action going down, heading into the boot, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, so it was a good decision by whoever made that choice. I wouldn't have done that, but I'm glad they did.
With the latest points total, this is just to my calculation, Tony Jimenez cuts down the gap to 6 points between him and Luca Ferrari, who leads the way. Brad Fulliger's mistake towards the end has cost him third place in the standings to Noah Farrell, who ended up in fourth place in today's event. That is all for today. The next round will be over at Snetterton on the 300 course. Same time next week. Jim, thank you very much for joining me, and thank you to everyone for taking the time to tune in to watch some brilliant action around this brilliant course of Watkins Glen. We'll do it all again in 7 days' time at Snetterton. I am Tom Cairns with Jim Cunningham, and we'll speak to you again soon when the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League returns.